Hey tubers, it's GravZr here again, and right now I'm just doing a little update video and a bit of a rant kind of deal because I've been seeing a lot of Facebook updates about these kids in schools. You know, a lot of these kids, they think they're all badass and everything like that, and the fact that they're going around, they're not just fighting each other, but they're fighting teachers too, and just doing things to scare the teachers. I saw a video of this one kid. Oh, excuse me. I've seen a video of this one kid throwing M&M candies and threatening to hit the teacher with the desk, having the desk like over his head, acting like he's going to throw it at her or bash her over the head with it. And I just got done watching another video about this one kid who was acting up in class and was about to get thrown out of the classroom. Doing that whole stand outside bit, I don't know, or gets into the principal's office, however these school systems works these days. But he goes out and just starts, pushing them and trying to just go and wailing on them. And then you got these kids just videotaping with their phones. I mean, why the hell did they have phones in schools in the first place? I mean, they should have banned that shit. Like with us when we were in school, no cell phones allowed or, that kind of stuff. But, they're videoing, they're laughing, they're cutting up while these kids are going around beating up on teachers and each other, thinking, oh, it's funny. Ooh, I'm going to post this on Facebook. I'm going to post this on YouTube because, I'm a badass. No. That's not how it's supposed to work these days. I mean, if I was the parent of one of those kids and I saw that, I would have beat that kid's ass and straightened him up. And if that doesn't work and he constantly does that, and I've posted this on Facebook too, and with these videos, some of these kids need to be expelled from public schools and get sent to like a military school or boot camp or something like that, And I bet them drill sergeants and the military personnel will straighten those little bastards up in a heartbeat. I mean, hell, this one kid that I watched a video of that actually got a cop fired, because she was being disruptive in class. And, she was on her cell phone. She was told multiple times to put the phone up. She refused. She was told multiple times to, go to the principal's office, get out of class. She refused. Even the cop came in to try to get her out. She's like, no, fuck you. And then, he was trying to get her out of this. She flipped out and made it look like the cop actually threw her on the ground. That's not what happened. She freaked out and she tilted herself back and made it look like the cop did it so that way he could get fired. She flipping out, the cop had to pull her away and then put the cuffs on her because she was that disruptive. She was that much of a bad child. I mean, it just sickens me how the schools are these days, especially with the high school kids. It really sickens me. I mean, the reason why I say that is because I'm, for so know that probably don't know, I'm going to be a father in March. And I'd rather not put my child in a school system like that. See, I used to go to public schools until it was starting to get to the point where it was getting bad for me and homeschooled. If it came to that, I'm probably going to end up homeschooling my child if the schools don't straighten up their acts and get these kids under control. It's just ridiculous to have these kids run buck wild, and the teachers are scared to do anything about it because they can either be fired and, labeled with so many racist labels these days, and it's just ridiculous. I've seen white kids act up, I've seen black kids act up, Mexicans, Asians, any immigrant in different colors, I've seen them all act up. It's not about race, it's just how they're getting by in this day and age. It's just, ridiculous. They take everything they have now for granted, and they think they can get away with their thuggish attitude, big Billy badass brawlers, just, I'm gonna go around and just beat these teachers' ass because they don't know shit about shit. It just makes me sick to my stomach. It makes me glad that I'm actually out of school and trying to get by and everything like that. It's just the world is just changing around people like me that grew up in like early 90s to up to now. I mean, I'm 30 years old, and I'm just disappointed in how things are turning out all around us. It's just freaking ridiculous. They just need to straighten their shit up and take all these little kids that are going around and acting up and going buck wild. Like I mentioned before, they need to be sent to a military school and or boot camp. And let the drill sergeants straighten them out. If the parents are having a hard time trying to get them in control and everything like that, it may be cruel and everything, but that's what you call tough love. Tough love is probably what's going to be needed in this world. It's just a pain in the ass to see it not working, or no one's putting an effort to make it to work. We're just doing this little rant and everything. It just sickens me how you see these school systems just go to hell in a handbasket, especially all these good schools around the country that are getting the bad apples of the bunch. And they got these ridiculous laws to make it to where nothing's being done about it. They just let them run buck wild, let them, raise a little hell in class, beat up on teachers, beat up on each other, throw candies at teachers, regardless if there's a teacher or a substitute teacher, starting fights in bathrooms, It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's probably not just here in our country, but probably schools worldwide they're having problems, with some of their bad apples. Nothing's being done. It just sickens me to the point to where I'd rather, go out there and start straightening these kids out myself if I have to. But like I said, I'm not getting into that department due to the fact that it'll probably look bad on me if I try to start something, especially when I have a baby girl on the way, which is due in March, last I checked. And I don't think I want to put her in a kind of school that's that bad. I mean, yeah, elementary school, you're going to be little kids. Little kids are going to act like little kids when they get to certain ages and stuff like that. But when it comes down to junior high and high school, I don't know if I want to put her through junior high or even high school. I don't think I can do that with these kids running around acting like they're everything in the bag of chips. Like I said, I encourage the parents of troubled kids or troublesome kids to, straighten them out, let them know from right and wrong what to do and what not to do. I encourage y'all to make sure your kids don't end up in prison or worse. If you have to send them off to military school, if you have to send them off to boot camp due to the fact that you're having a hard time, then by all means do it. I mean, I'm not going to be, stepping on your toes or anything like that. This is my way of encouraging y'all to try to avoid that last result. It just sickens me to see these kids like this. Especially where everything in the world is like going to hell in a handbasket, with the economy and, having a hard time looking for work. I should know about the hard time looking for work because I'm having a hard time right now. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but if I don't repeat myself, it doesn't sink in and everything like that. But I do encourage these parents of these kids to do something about it by any means necessary. Discipline them and however you see fit. Talk to them about it in a calm manner, or threaten them to go send them to military school if they don't straighten up, or actually do send them to military school if they don't straighten up, or during the summertime send them off to boot camp to straighten them up. Do what you got to do. I mean, hell, take them on a field trip to prison to show them where these kids' lives are going if they keep acting that way. That would be a hell of a wake-up call for them if you just do that, But that's probably all I'm going to have to say on that note, due to the fact that it's just upsetting to see these videos on Facebook and everything like that. So, as I said before, any parent watching this with troubled kids that go around doing these ridiculous acts of violence on each other and on teachers and superintendents, anything higher up, if they're going around doing this kind of crap, you need to do something about it before they end up in prison or worse. The school systems apparently cannot do it on their own. You're going to have to step in and do something about it too. But anyway, that's all I'm going to have to say on that note. Now, like I said, I will try to do some more game videos on here once I get things working the way I want them to work. But until then, tubers, adios.